Hi, I'm Dr. Richard DiCenso, or Dr. D as known to most of my patients. I'm currently the CEO of Matrix Transformation, author of Beyond Medicine, Exploring a New Way of Thinking, and developer of an evaluation process known as the MAP. Now, MAP obviously is an acronym for the Matrix Assessment Profile. And as the name implies, this evaluation involves an assessment of the human matrix. Now, the human matrix consists of three distinct but related elements, including the physical body, the biological environment, plus psychological, emotional, and even spiritual components that influence the overall human experience. Now, while the concept of the map is a relatively simple metaphor in that if you want to get from where you are to where you want to be, a map can obviously be most helpful. Nonetheless, it has much deeper significance, rooted in a statement that Hippocrates often imparted to his young students. In essence, he said that the symptoms or disease a person has is far less important than who the person is that has those symptoms or that disease. Now, here's where the map differs from most conventional assessments. First and foremost, the map is not a test. It is an evaluation process that looks beyond the fundamentals of conventional testing to appraise any chronic imbalances or deficiencies that may be contributing to the symptoms that you are experiencing. So in other words, we're not looking at your symptoms as much as we're looking at the underlying cause of those symptoms. For example, most conventional testing looks at a limited number of relative highs and lows, such as high cholesterol, triglycerides, RBC count, hormone balance, or even glucose. However, in knowing any or all of those isolated particulars, one fundamental question remains unanswered, and that question is why. And the why is what the map is all about. Now, I'm sure that many of you who are suffering from chronic and unresolved symptoms and have been to a conventional healthcare professional for evaluation have heard one or more of the following in response to that question, why? All your tests are negative. Your symptoms are normal for your age. Oh, they'll go away in time, or you're going to have to learn to live with them. Or, we can't find anything wrong. Or, your symptoms are all in your head. Now, the good news is that there is hope. You can discover and expose the cause of your symptoms if you know where to look. And then once identified, the cause can be modified or eliminated. So how can the map help to unmask the causes underlying these frustrating and seemingly unresolved symptoms? Well, first, we must recognize that most of these experiences are simply that. They're just symptoms. For the most part, they are simply an expression of underlying imbalances, deficiencies, and other improprieties that have yet to be identified, and usually represent an attempt on the part of your body to communicate to you the fact that something is wrong. And this, in essence, is how the map differs from conventional evaluations, because with the results of your matrix assessment profile, we can look at things that nobody else is looking at in ways that nobody else is looking at them. Let me give you a quick example. Osteoporosis, as we all know, is a thinning of the bones. So one of the more common probabilities and possibilities that I see most frequently associated with this symptom of osteoporosis is the fact that if you create more waste product in a 24-hour cycle, then you're capable of eliminating that waste product. Being acidic and toxic and corrosive either has to be eliminated or stored. So in order to be stored, because it's acidic, toxic, and corrosive, it needs to be buffered or neutralized in storage. In order to be buffered or neutralized, it requires a huge volume of alkaline minerals. Now, first of all, the body looks to digestion. The food that you're eating, the supplements that you're taking. If these are inadequate to buffer the extensive accumulation of acidic waste product, then the body reverts to water as a buffering device. When this is exhausted, the body then turns to bone and starts robbing calcium and phosphorus from bone, leaving you with thin bones and a diagnosis. That diagnosis being osteoporosis. So in assessing the entire human matrix, we recognize that we are the biological end product of our interpretation of our perception. In other words, it's just as possible that as we perceive our environment and interpret those perceptions, they are ultimately incorporated into the biological environment of the 50 trillion cells that make up the human body and contribute to the imbalances and deficiencies associated with the symptom, the dysfunction, the disorder, or the disease. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. Even though you're going to learn all of this and much more, you're going to want to know how this is going to happen. So let's take a minute to talk about the process. Now, although the MAP is not a test, it is an assessment, and part of that assessment involves the evaluation of the biological fluids of urine and saliva. Having processed those results, our sophisticated software calculates the findings from the urine and saliva, and using an advanced mathematical algorithm determines the same parameters for the blood within 1% accuracy without the need for an actual blood sample. The software also calculates a theoretical number for your biological age as compared to your actual physical age. Your biological age simply indicates the rate at which the cells in your body are aging compared to your actual chronological age. It is calculated in part by the number and the severity of imbalances, compromises, and deficiencies in your profile. So here's how it all works. Once you purchase your evaluation kit, you'll receive supplies necessary to submit samples of urine and saliva, a comprehensive history form providing us with information about your concerns, your symptoms, past experiences, current medications, lifestyle analysis, including diet, supplements, exercise, beliefs, behaviors, hobbies, relationships, self-attitude assessment, and so much more. You then return your samples and history form to us. Samples and history form are then analyzed, and within 10 to 14 days, you will receive a complete summary of your fluid analysis along with colorful graphs and charts demonstrating where and why the most significant stresses exist in your body as they relate to the symptoms that you are experiencing. You'll also receive a set of collateral documents explaining the significance of these stresses, what they mean, and what you can do about them. You'll also get a complete set of personalized recommendations constructed by me, just for you, suggesting the most efficient intervention for resolving your concerns and restoring integrity to the biological environment and to your personal matrix. Now, a free 30-minute consult with me is also included to discuss your results. Meanwhile, you'll also be offered several of these additional opportunities. You may choose to schedule a consultation with me before becoming involved with the MAP process to help you in deciding whether or not this assessment is for you. You can spend some time looking at all of the additional information on the site to determine whether or not this is an investment that you really want to make. You can opt to receive my free ebook, Why You Feel the Way You Feel, and what you can do about it, along with a free 1-hour audio download discussing the MAP process in detail. You'll also get free access to my weekly radio show, my live audio Q&A sessions, my regular email educational videos, and all archived articles and interviews. So whichever you choose, you will also have the opportunity to contact my office via 1-800-959-2640 or email a request for additional information and details concerning your personal protocols. Now, having worked with tens of thousands of people over close to 40 years, I invite you to become part of the Matrix community. I'm Dr. Richard DiCenso. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.